Do you know where your accountants are? Like the people who handle my banking?
Your accountants, they like the people who handle your money.
Yeah, so yeah, no. Hopefully in a bank?
Welcome to the show with no name. I am B. B is short for Brendan. He is Daniel. Daniel is short for Daniel. Daniel, I have a question for you, but let me preface it first with this. So about 30 years ago, I was actually just breaking into my teens, and I don't remember who, but somebody obviously took me to the movie theater because in my early teens I couldn't drive and the theater was too far away to walk. And I remember watching this movie called Back to the Future, in which they made a whole bunch of predictions about the future, which actually is kind of now, not necessarily today, but now 2015. So they got 14 of the things right. And if you want me to read some 14. Of them, I will. So I'll go through. They said 14 things. So this is an article off Gawker. I like giving credit to sources, but at the same time, I don't want if I'm reading from something from a political site, then I don't want people immediately, their bias is they're reading from the Democrats or the Republicans or whatever.
I think before you dive into this, you should probably preference about the time that we're recording this because it's going to be released much later. But we're recording this at the end of the month of November, and I know what you're talking about. The date that was specific it was 2015. I think if I'm not mistaken, it's October 21st, if I'm not mistaken. So I think we're about a month away. If I'm not, I could be wrong about that. I do like Back to the Future. Right. I like Back to the Future, but I'm not like a die-hard, hardcore fan that I know that by heart. So
that's a good point. So it doesn't have the exact, on this article, you would think it would have the exact date. It just says 2015.
Well, I mean, the important thing is the year and where we're at. It's okay, the date's already passed now, so how much of it was true?
1989, so this was 26 years ago. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so they had I'll go through a few of these things that they got right. Handless or wireless video games. Check. Handheld tablet computers. Check. A baseball team in Florida. Now they had a Miami Gators or something like that, which we now have a team called Miami, which used to be the Florida Marlins, but is now the Miami Marlins. Video conferencing. What else do we have here that's on this thing that's really interesting? Being consumed with personal electronics. Check. Multiple TV channels. Check. Performance enhancers being a major problem in sports. Check. Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Going on. Flying cars, though. We're a little behind that. So before
you missed the most important one, and it's not here yet, but the hoverboard.
Yeah. So that was the next one under the flying cars was hoverboard. And then they had dehydrated food, which I could have sworn we had around for a long time because astronauts have to eat something.
I think they're referring, there's a specific part in the movie where there's a pizza grower thing. He looks like he puts a little bagel bite in there.
You're right.
And then it turns into a full-size pizza.
That's right. You're right. Exactly right.
But I don't know if they're calling that dehydrated food. That's a weird title for that. Maybe that's what it was. Again, I haven't seen the movies in a long time. I don't even remember everything from it. And I just know, there was a lot of hype around this whole thing when the date passed and a lot of people were talking about it. So yeah.
So before I get to the question, have you seen, I think it's called #Jetman, or have you seen these guys with jetpacks? These are real life jetpacks flying around. They were flying. There was two of them, and they're personalized jetpacks.
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah,
no, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Size of mini hang glider things, and they're flying around an A380, which is
yes.
So you've seen that, right?
Yes.
So this is we're already making progress towards the stage of Boba Fett and a space age and all. Right, we're getting closer to Star Wars and Star Trek. So my question to you is, 25 years from now, we will have...
Oh my gosh. So I've got to talk about what we're going to have in 25 years? You want me to know? You want me to...
What?
You want me to predict...
Still be alive. Exactly.
This is assuming that we're still alive in 25 years. Is that?
Yes, assuming that the world is pretty much the same. For example, like
in other
America's
words, like
still here.
World War III didn't destroy everything.
Yeah, exactly. People have pretty much left. I understand there'll be a few wars or skirmishes here and there, but people pretty much left at peace. Now you can make predictions like.
Why did nobody talk about this when everyone was talking about Back to the Future when that day came up?
That's what this show is for. That's what they should be. That's because we come up with the good stuff, Daniel.
This is a great question. This is
exactly.
This is an amazing question. I'm glad
you can say something like Scotland and Ireland.
Just so you guys know how we do this show, the one person has a question, the other person has no idea what we're going to talk about. At least that's what we've discussed so far about how to do this. So I had no idea he was going to ask this question. That's a great question. I'm not quite sure I know how to answer that. Okay, so do you have a list of things that you think is already going to be like you have a couple of ideas?
No, that would have been too smart.
That would have been too smart of you to.
And they'd all have been stupid things anyway.
Well, see, that's the thing is like already I'm thinking of like stupid things like that I can eat corn dogs and not get fat. Like that's like the first thing that comes to my mind.
So mine was people will paint facial hair on their faces as the new style, right? So you don't actually grow beards; you just paint a beard on.
I think people do that already. Cool. I'm pretty sure there's a few people who do that already. So wait, are these predictions? Because a lot of those things were inventions, and what we're referring to are just more hopes and advancements, in in things that we already have.
Okay, yeah. So I'll give you that. Yeah, most of these were inventions, although they did have So I didn't really go through all the things that they had wrong, but if you took the USA Today that they showed like two versions of USA Today in the movie. Like one is Marty McFly being arrested, and the other one is Goofy McNerdigan being arrested. I forget his name. And so there's like little things on the sideline. They're like other articles. They're like female president.
That is true.
Whatever.
That is true.
Princess
I know
Diana
what you're talking
does
about.
Something crazy. Or no, it's not Princess, Queen Diana. So yeah, if you want to make, that's why I left it open. If you want to make tech inventions or.
So are we predicting what it's going to be like in 25 years or what's going to happen between now and 25 years?
No, not what's going to happen between now and
so
then.
We're just jumping to 25 years in the future. Okay, so 25 years in the future, let's see, would be 2040. Oh, God, it's hard for me to say, what would happen in 2040 because immediately, and maybe this is just, amongst the wake of everything that's been taking place in the world today, like immediately my mind just goes to World War III and thinking that I don't think we're going to make it to 2040 before somebody, does something or, whether it's a radical group or whether it's just an extremist as a leader of some country decides that, they want more land and they try to take somebody else's land. I just have a feeling that, between now and 2040, and I just see that's the other thing. I don't want that to be what this show is about, but that's immediately what I go to. This show should be fun. We should be talking more about corn dogs. And,
they're going to be like, oh, downer.
No, I don't. Okay, so let me. Okay,
so again, assuming that, that generally speaking, the world will be at peace, right? Not perfectly at peace, but things will pretty much be the same.
It's interesting that you mentioned the newspaper article and how one of the things is like female president or something like that. Because I feel like nowadays, everybody is, trying to move towards, equality across the board, regardless of what it is. I just feel like everyone's like, oh, everybody has a right to believe whatever they want to believe and do whatever they want to do, no matter what, type of thing. And so I feel like 25 years from now, it's probably just going to be a more extreme version of that. So yeah, I believe we will have a female president of the United States between now and 2040.
So 25 years, that's going to be minus a year because we have this election cycle. So technically, we could have one basically this next election cycle, but that's 6 election cycles in there, so it's a good chance.
There's a very good chance. I mean, someone could be reelected and end up serving 8 years, right. But no, I definitely believe we will have a woman in leadership that's at the presidential level or something of that nature between now and 2040. Aside from that, I definitely believe. You know what? I want to talk about. I'm going to talk about some fun ones. Like I want to talk about. Right. I think we're going to have. I think we'll have like a vacation, like hotel on Mars. I really believe that. I really believe that. Okay. I maybe not a vacation.
So you think Mars before the moon?
Yeah, I actually do. I feel like we're more inclined to go to Mars. I feel like we're more inclined. I feel like in fact, I think it was just recently I saw some video where NASA is like trying to hire people to like do missions and stuff like that. And they were opening it up to anybody. You had to have certain qualifications, and you didn't get to know what those were until you went to their site. How do I know this? Because I went to their site to see what their qualifications were. Because who knows, maybe I wanted to go into space and I thought that might be kind of cool. But they were pretty harsh requirements. I don't remember exactly what they were, but basically you had to be a genius in order to apply. Which I was like, I figured that was true anyway. Like, why? when you say if you want to be part of NASA, come be part of NASA. I'm pretty sure half the South would be like, what? Be part of NASCAR? What? I do that.
That's just one letter off of my favorite organization.
Okay, so I definitely think that we will have some sort of village or location on Mars. Definitely think that, and I do think that'll happen before. I do think that'll happen before the moon. I think the moon will be short to follow, but I firmly believe that we will build something on Mars before we build something on the moon. I don't know why I immediately go to this, but I'm just trying to think of all the things that would make my life like easier, and like
sure, that's fine.
You know what, and I don't think this is going to happen, but how about just a wish or a want? I'm hoping that we'll live in an ad-free world. How about that? We'll live in a world where we do not have things shoved down your throat. People will, the good companies will stick around because they continue to make great products. Like, for instance, almost all my favorite restaurants or locations or websites or things that I use, I don't use them because I saw some ad to go to them. I did it because a friend told me. Now, maybe if you follow that friend and find out how they found out, maybe they found out from a friend who found out from a friend who saw an ad on TV about this restaurant or something like that. That might be the case. And you know what? If that is true, and in some regards, I'm kind of scared that's where our world is at now. But I would hope that that's where we would, move away in the next 25 years, is that we would move away.
So either ad-free or ads are limited to maybe a certain medium.
Sure, and part of the reason I'm saying this is because a lot of things that have definitely happened in the last 25 years, has been huge advancements in technology specific to computers, and how everything that we do now is on a computer. Everybody has a computer in their hand. You pull out your smartphone, that's a computer in your hand. Everything that you do is, monitored and analyzed, and, if, we put this type of ad or something like that, someone will buy this product. This is all going in the wrong direction than I think you wanted this to go in.
No, it's fine. I didn't have any sort of goal other than Boba Fett's jetpack.
You know what? I want Boba Fett's jetpack right now. That would be awesome. Can we make that happen?
I just think it would be cool because I saw the jetpack ones that were the guys flying around Dubai. So immediately, this is like a commentary on. So again, trying to stay away from this. My very first thought was, oh, just wait till the terrorists get
Oh, so you know what? One of the other things that was in I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just thought about this. One of the other things that was predicted in the Back to the Future series in 2015, they predicted that Jaws 19 would come out.
Right, yeah. Obsession with 3D movies or sequels, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, obsession with 3D movies is part of that, and they're right. The 3D movies is like the whole thing. In fact, I'm kind of frustrated that the new Star Wars movie, I have to watch it in 3D because it doesn't look like they're releasing a version that's not in 3D. Everyone that I've seen,
you're kidding me.
Yeah, it's like two different versions of 3D. It's either like the real 3D or it's like the other one, but they're all 3D. I have yet to see
Wait, there's another 3D? Is it
to my understanding, yeah.
3.2D or something like that?
It might be like a
3D.
4D experience where like you feel like Chewie hugging you from behind the whole movie. He just comfortably like holding you in his fur.
This seat is itchy.
No, you're sitting on a carpet. Oh, it's a walking carpet. You're sitting on a carpet. Right. It's very relaxing and soft. As long as there isn't like, crumbs or, Anyway. No, but the interesting thing about that prediction about Jaws 19 is also the obsession with continuing a series that they felt like would continue to go on. And here's my prediction. I'm going to use the same model. I'm predicting Star Wars 17 is going to come out.
Okay, hold on. Stop. So we're going to have, 2015, we're going to have Star Wars 7, and you said Star Wars 17?
I'm saying 17, yep.
So 10 movies in 25 years?
Oh, absolutely.
You think really?
So they're releasing, I don't know if you've already looked at the timeline, but episode 7 comes out this year, 2015. Episode 8 comes out in 2017, and Episode 9 comes out in 2019. And if there's anything I know about Disney, it's that they will suck it dry until there's nothing left to take out of it.
So you're not going to make a prediction? Disney folds. So, but here's it. Will it be called Star Wars 17, or will they end it at 9 and then start a whole new Star Wars Episode 1A, the whole new timeline?
Well, actually, they're already
just going to keep.
Actually, they're already doing that. That's why I was telling. So this year, 2015 is Star Wars Episode 7. Next year, it's going to be a spin-off movie, Star Wars.
Wait. So it's not going to be Episode 8?
Not in 2016. No. And then 2017, it goes back to the canon stories, and it's Episode 8. Then it goes to another spin-off movie. Then it goes to Episode 9. Then it goes to another spin-off movie. We are going to have 6 Star Wars movies in the next 6 years. 6 Star Wars movies.
Star Wars Episode 17 is not a unrealistic prediction. Okay.
No, not at all. I mean, I would be sad if they did it, but at the same time, I really, firmly believe. I firmly believe that they'll definitely do that. Also, crazy prediction. I believe that we will take the word God out of our money and out of our Pledge of Allegiance.
You mean you're just talking specifically the United States?
I'm just talking specifically to the United States. Other countries will do this? That's a good question.
Canada.
Does Canada have God on their money?
No. They may have God Save the Queen or something. Actually, I think that's England, but
they're part of the English monarch.
Canada does. They were founded by Frenchmen.
I don't think the Canadians would be happy about hearing that. They definitely have. I know they have the Queen on their money. I know the Queen is on their money, and I know.
I love Canada.
I know. The Canadians that I've known, they've all, been like, oh no, she's our queen. Like, they make a big deal about it. And I remember I had an argument at one point where I was like, well, she's not really your queen. She's, England's queen. You have a prime minister. Why don't you?
Right.
And their explanation to me was, well, the prime minister doesn't really have any, power. At least that's the way it sounded like it. Or maybe it was maybe it was the other way around. They said the queen doesn't really have any power to like do anything. Like we can veto anything, but we listen to her anyway. And I'm like, why? Why?
I know. I'm like,
why do you want to listen to another country telling you what to do that doesn't live in your own country? That's just. There are plenty of flaws with the United States, so don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the United States is so much better in that regards, but. I'm kind of curious now. Now I'm kind of curious because I'm hoping you'll take it in a more fun direction than what I just took your amazing questions and I dragged it through the mud. This
was a tough one though, because this is probably something that would better be like, okay, hey, I've got a week to prepare for stuff, as opposed to boom. But that's kind of how we play that's how the show goes.
You know what? 2040, there will never be holes in walls anymore. No one will ever be able to punch a hole in the wall when they get angry. It just won't be possible. All walls will be indestructible. And
so no, they'll be made out of like some sort of reformable Adobe putty material. So like when you punch it's almost like a Tempur-Pedic, or what do they call those foam mattresses? So you punch it and then you just, right? Because it's like a safety hazard for kids. Safety hazard. it's a safety net, right, for your kids running into them. Now, I don't know how they do electrical wiring through that, but that would be my guess.
Also, 2040, 3D printing will rule the world. I don't believe 3D printing is going to slow down at all. It's going to get faster. It's going to get better. It's going to get more precise, and it is going to do everything. Pretty much from what I've seen of the stuff that's happening right now, I mean, just a small example of something that I saw the other day. And now this is more an advancement in medicine rather than, an advancement in 3D printing. But I saw a 3D printer print a prosthetic limb, and it was like so much. It was a lot. It was less expensive, a lot easier to manufacture, a lot quicker, and it worked perfectly fine. And I feel like that's only going to get better. And some of the stuff that people have done, I mean, some people have made guns out of 3D printing.
I know.
That's amazing. At the same time, it's also kind of scary to think that anybody could make a gun in the future. But I really believe that that's going to be the case. I believe 3D printing is going to continue to grow and grow and grow. Which is weird to say that word, grow, because that's kind of what it is doing. It's growing something, essentially.
By the way, Canadian coins say, or actually they don't say anything, but they have written on them, by the grace of God.
Okay, so by the grace of God. Going back to that, then, do I think all countries will abandon that from their money? And by 2040, I say yes, absolutely.
Wait, hold on, though. I don't know if you can say all countries, though, because, right, so some countries, their God is different from the God of the United States.
That's
right. So the United
true.
States, the founding was a Judeo-Christian God, whereas, if you go to the Middle East or even to India, Pakistan, they have a different God in the U.S.
Do Pakistanis, if that's the correct word to use, Pakistanians? Is that what it is? Pakistanians?
Yeah.
Is that bad that I don't know? That's probably bad that I don't know.
I'm making it's got to be Pakistanians.
I think it's well, anyway. Do people from Pakistan, let's just do that, because there's no other way to say this without sounding like we're total absolute morons, and that's fine. At least we admit to it, that. Exactly. Do people from Pakistan, their money, do they have any religious things on their money? Anything?
That would require me to consult the book of Google again, and we're getting off topic. So
we're getting very much off of topic.
Anyway, so
no, but I still believe, as
a
general rule, I believe all countries will remove the idea of religion from politics.
Okay.
I believe because and I only say that again, going back to the whole idea of feeling like this world is gotten a lot more progressive. In the sense that everybody's, moving towards this idea of equality across the board. And if you continue to combine leadership with your own sense of belief, somebody's going to be unhappy.
Okay.
And that's the problem is that at the end of the day, not everyone is going to be happy, so I don't know if I necessarily agree with it. And I'm not by any means saying that I think that's the way it should be. But again, then we're just predicting what's going to happen by 2040. So,
all right. So give some other, so as not to dwell on this too much, some of your other predictions.
Some of my other predictions. I think people will be able to inhale cheeseburgers without even having to chew. I think.
So beneficially, or this is some sort of drug thing. They're like, this PCP is hamburger, it's cheeseburger flavored. Dude, sign me up. Here's a 20. I don't know what a 20 buys in PCP. I have no idea.
Oh, you know what? Here's a better one for you. McDonald's. Let's get company specific. McDonald's will be a healthy restaurant in 2040. McDonald's will completely reshape their image. It's going to take them a long time, but they are going to abandon their ways slowly but surely, and they will eventually become the healthy restaurant. And they'll have so much money to do it with that they'll be perfectly fine. They'll be able to transform everything and still be okay.
I thought you were gonna like tie the two together, McDonald's, and tie this question with Back to the Future together. Like McDonald's will have dehydrated burgers that you can sniff up your nose, that you can inhale, right? Because you had inhale. Sorry,
I probably should have. I missed that. That would have been an easier tie,
right? Because that's the whole dehydrated thing, right? You go, I'll have the chicken McNugget 18 pack. And then they handed you like almost like a mustard pack, which is dehydrated. You rip it open and then like you don't even have the calories, right? You're satiated because you had the 18 pack, but no fat. No, how awesome would that be?
Oh, also
it's dehydrated food.
Yeah, no, I know. I got where you were coming from.
Although I don't know if it would be awesome because I want the taste. I want it. You know what I mean? Like, man, that bacon, that is so. Anyway, I had a sandwich the other day, and I looked on this. This is totally off subject. I looked on the menu, and it didn't say bacon. I was looking for which one of these has bacon, and none of them did. And so I said, well, I'll have that one. And then when I got it, I went outside, I put it on the table, I unwrapped it, and I bit, and I'm like, and I looked at it, I'm like, there's bacon. It magically appeared in my sandwich.
I just wanted bacon and it appeared.
Thank you, God. I believe there's a God.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's too good. That's too good. Let's see other predictions. So if we're going based off of other things that I saw, I remember in the movie you talked about, they talked about problems with enhancements with sports. I believe the enhancements that it will be a problem. And I think I saw this somewhere. There may be some TV show that's coming out and I may be, citing this from somebody else, and I don't know exactly where I'm getting this knowledge from, but I just, the idea has stuck with me. So it was memorable enough. Is that going back on the whole idea of like prosthetics and stuff like that, that I think that'll become an issue in sports because they're going to get better. So who's going to say that you can't let somebody play with them? He's like, I've got a prosthetic, leg and I can run 3 times faster than you because it's a machine now and it's so great, kind of thing. Again,
so we've come very, very close to that because did you pay attention to what the Olympics were last year?
Are you talking about the Sochi Olympics?
They're even years. No, yes, no.
That would be the winter one. Are you talking about the summer games?
Yeah, the summer, but they take place in even years, so it must have been 2014.
Yeah, it was back in 2014.
Pistorius, remember he ran and he has no feet, so he used those blades. I forget the name of the blades that he has. And people were in an uproar about like, hey, he should not be able to compete. He's got an advantage because he uses these blades to run.
That's interesting.
So that's a good one. That's getting close.
No, but I just mean like I feel like it's going to become so super technologically advanced that it's going to be to the point where they don't, they almost feel like they have to put them in another, league almost altogether.
So like I gotta have like a chip in my eyeball and like hit the ball no matter what.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly. Your eye can tell your brain exactly where to swing every single time. So you will become the best baseball player. You'll never miss. You will never miss. So, no, and these are obviously just some of the. I wish I had more crazy ones. I can't think of anything. I literally can't think of anything on the fly now. And it's such a great question. And I feel like I'm missing out on an opportunity. As soon as we're done, I'm going to have like 20 ideas. I'm going to be like, tomorrow I'm going to wake up
like, oh, I should have said that. That's so funny.
I should have said that one.
So what we'll do is sometime later this week, we'll record this and I'll be like, so welcome to the show with my name. I'm B. Sheriff Daniel. My question for you. And you'll be like, oh, well, B, I've got a whole list of things.
Never thought about this one before. This is the first time I'm hearing about it.
Well, so it's funny because I still think about, I shouldn't say I still think about, but I still come across things that you had talked about in the last show, which was the social media sort of thing. And I'll still run across a couple articles like about, hey, model quits or loses viewers after she posts several pictures of her without makeup, of her everyday life on Instagram or just other articles. And I'm like, had you not brought that topic up, I would have just breezed right through these and not even have dotted them. So it's really kind of neat. I'm like, wow, I could totally add this and talk about it. But I'm like, no, I can't because that episode's gone already. Had I had precognition, you'd have been like, B, what do you think about? And I could have said,
well
I
now
read
that you
this
said
article,
that, I've read this article and it fits
gonna come
perfectly.
out in 10 days.
Fits perfectly with what you're talking about. No, I know tomorrow I'm going to be sitting at my desk at work and I'm going to be like 2040. Oh, I should have said that. That was perfect. That was a great idea. Why didn't I think of that when I was on the spot?
All right, so let me so we'll wrap this up kind of. So how big will Apple be? Will Apple be the only producer, or the mega producer?
That's a good question. Yeah, you know what? Apple 2040. You know what? That's a prediction. Apple, the company, will run for president in 2040.
That's a good prediction. That's cool because you're actually going like with. We have entities now running for president. I predict that they'll split. They'll have like one of those Ma Bell splits, which is back in the day, like Bell Telephone. I think it was Ma Bell, and they became Bell and Southwestern Bell or something. I don't know. They couldn't come up with another creative name.
So, they both had to use Bell again because they didn't want to come up with another name.
I predicted. You have any medical predictions? Anything like pills, operations?
I think cancer will be healed.
Really?
Oh,
cure for cancer is what?
I think the cure for cancer is going to be lima beans, and everyone will just.
Hey, man, I'm preaching. That's why I keep them around.
It will be lima beans and apricot seeds.
Apricot seeds.
Yep.
That's right. So, more islands or less islands?
More islands or less islands? You know what? I'm going to go the exact opposite of where everyone would want me to probably go. I'm going to say global warming will not happen. It'll be like a reverse. They're going to call it a reverse global warming, and there's going to be so many islands. There'll be so much land, no one will know what to do with it. We're just... Wait a minute. No, wait, that wouldn't be reverse global... Wait. Yes, that would be. They're just...
I know it would be weird global warming or something. That would be... global islanding.
Yeah, global islanding. Yeah, that's what would happen. I just meant that the polar caps would melt and like create tidal waves to cover over land. I meant that everything is gonna like the water's just gonna like freeze.
So are you when you say islands, are you talking about like Galapagos-sized islands or islands where it's like Manhattan-sized islands where like we could actually have people live here?
No, we're gonna actually have islands. We're gonna have a lot of islands. There's gonna be so many islands that like literally. Like a woman will give birth to a baby and like throw it to an island. That's yours. Take care of it. That's all yours.
So all new countries.
Yes, all new countries.
I plant this flag in the name of Islandandia.
This is the island of the no name show. Nobody get on it.
I love it. Holograms. Will we have? Will they be anywhere near what we see in sci-fi movies?
That's a good question.
Like
in 2040, I mean, if I'm being realistic, I'm going to say no. I don't think so, but as much as I say no, I'm pretty sure technology will surprise me. And watch, it'll be like, it's not even going to be like 2040, it'll be like 2020, and something will come out and I'm going to be like, oh, geez, it's a good thing. It's a good thing I said what I said back in 2015 about, no holograms, because here they are. I should just, what? I'm never going to have $1 million. I'm never going to have $1 million. I'm just going to keep saying that so that way it'll come true in 5 years.
I had another. So, what average lifespan? What will people live to? I guess average lifespan differs between countries, but just
in general. Anyway, I mean, if we're being realistic, we're from the United States. If we have any knowledge about anything, we're probably going to be basing it based off of the United States. Which the average lifespan in America right now is 80 years. Right? Or is it 85?
Off the top of my head, I do not know.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's either. I think I don't think it's like it's been rounded up to like a 5. I think it is like 79 years old or something like that. Is like the average lifespan, somewhere around there. Average lifespan. I don't think average lifespan is going to change that much, honestly. I don't think the advancement in technology or medicine will change the average lifespan because they're...
So you don't think they'll be... Because we have all these things like, things that are trying to rejuvenate you as you're older or live longer or prolong your life.
I just feel like the more solutions that we come up with, the more problems we're going to create at the same time. And that's true.
Because it's like, hey, this will make you look younger. Side effects include...
Exactly. And it's not...
And being abducted by aliens.
You know what? That's another thing. By 2040, we will have made contact with aliens. No doubt in my mind about that.
All right, I'll go with that. Yeah. Wait, aliens that are existing on this planet or out another space?
No, out of space.
We've been living in Atlantis for.
I'm waiting for something to come off of Pluto, man, and then I'm waiting for the Pluto Knights or whatever you want to call them, whatever they're going to be. I'm waiting for them to come out and be like, "How dare you guys not call us a planet? How dare you take us out of the solar systems and out of your schools? You know, in our school here in Pluto, we study Earth and we talk very highly of you, and you guys don't talk very nicely about us." That's not nice. We've said a lot of great things about what you guys have done.
I would be
here on
like,
Earth.
you talk highly about us? Can we get that in writing, please?
Can we get that in writing? Earthlings?
Post it, like a big post-it on the side of the Earth for other alien invasions that come by. They're like, look, we got right here. It says some nice things about us. All right, so we're running a little long here. So anything else you want to add? Any other predictions or anything else you want to add?
Everything I want to think about goes back to food. I don't know why, but it always wants to go back to... You know what? Here's a crazy prediction, but I really believe that one day the technology will be there. And it's going to be terrible. I don't know if it'll be in 2040. It's going to be terrible at first, but I believe instant food is going to be here. It's going to come. It's going to be like, you know, like I'm going to have like, I don't know, Burger King in a drop. And I just like drop it on my plate and then I like heat it up or something. It's like, whoop. And it all like, so yeah, dehydrated food, I guess, but like
so
basically.
I thought you would be like Burger King and drop, like you've got an eyedropper, you pop your tongue out.
Oh, that would be pretty impressive.
Like lammas bread, is that what they call what's the thing in Lord of the Rings where it's
Wait,
a
what?
little too geeky?
Oh yeah, that would.
So
I know what you're talking about. It's
you eat a flake of it.
You eat like
yummy.
a bite, and it's supposed to be able to fill like a man's stomach or something.
Yeah,
it's like the elven
I had
bread.
a wedding cake or whatever.
We got really nerdy there. I think it's time we need to stop. We need to stop before it gets any worse.
We had references to Star Wars holograms and lammas bread, which that's way too much. All right, so
we also talked about McDonald's being a healthy place. So I mean.
And did we just talk about Apple? So can anyone reach us on the hashtag machine? Are we on that at all?
Again, we had this conversation before we started. There's no... Brendan doesn't have Twitter, so he just calls it the hashtag machine, or what was the other name you called it? The at machine?
The at machine.
The at machine.
I don't know what you do with them. I don't...
We do have a Twitter by the time...
You just put at or hashtag in front of them, and then like you get like 90 likes or people forward them or something.
We do have a Twitter, and by the time this episode goes live, it should be up and running, everything will be perfect.
Can I add a hashtag, or can I
you
hashtag
can? You know what? You can...
I don't even know. I'm serious question.
Can you add a hashtag? Like if you...
Yeah.
I don't
like
think
at
you...
hashtag. Or hashtag.
Hashtag? I mean, that's a funny joke that people put a hashtag and then they write the word hashtag, but I don't think you can. I don't think you can hashtag a hash like the actual hashtag. Listen, when I grew up, the hashtag was called a pound sign. All right,
it still is.
Why is it called the hashtag sign now? I like the pound sign better.
I think you know what. Well, that's is that your question for me next episode?
No, you don't get to know what your question is for next episode. We will find out about
I can
that.
Research it
next episode, but
it could be a question for the listeners out there.
But yeah, if anybody wants to, by the time this comes out, our Twitter should be up and running. If you want to ask us a question, if you really care about our opinions, which I have no idea why the hell you would want to know what we think about anything, but if you want to know about our opinions, maybe we'll include a segment where we answer questions from people throughout the week. So, Brennan, anything else, I guess, to finish this off, or anything else for this episode?
Go Cardinals!
That's right. The Cardinals are playing right now. Brendan is a huge fan. If they lose, he will probably throw his mic, and then we will not be back next week. So,
so they'll they're not. They did not upload an episode. Cardinals lost.
Cardinals lost.
They will know that from watching. Anyway, never mind. Go Cardinals. 2-3. Go Cardinals.
All right. Well, thanks so much, guys, for tuning in. You guys take care.